All right, guys, we are back, and Accel eSports coming in hot and heavy with some really nice combos on their part, with a draft that helped them scale fantastically into the late game. So we're gonna hop on into game number 2. So hopefully you've enjoyed it so far, because I'm sure this one will be just as good. So we're gonna start things off. No one bans Vala. She's not even meta. We still ban. Everyone overhypes him. He can't even play Vala. So we're gonna see the Vala ban again on this map. It makes a little more sense. It still doesn't make sense. So let's put it that way. It shouldn't be banning Vala, as there's no need to. And the Sonya ban will be a high priority here, which is interesting. I assume that's because they were going to pick Urel as their first pick, and so they're immediately saying, well, we're going to take out one of the solo laners. On the other side, we had the Garage and the Rainer banned out here. Diablo and Nazebo. I like the Diablo. I don't like the Nazebo. Nazebo is a late game hero. Like, basically his entire thing is, his gimmick is about getting to the late game. If you're not getting to the late game, which you often don't in Battlefield of Eternity, then you're basically picked a hero who is giving you no value. On the other side, we got Deckard Cain and Greymane. So the Deckard, really good pickup and really well played for Ace last game. Now, Greymane. Greymane is in an awkward spot. As I mentioned earlier, Greymane is a hero that I feel like you have to draft him in very specific circumstances, and in only in those circumstances. Every other time you play him, it's effectively a bad choice. The reason for that is Greymane is super susceptible to CC, and the thing is, if you're diving in with a Greymane, you're essentially a melee hero. And if you're not diving in, you're essentially a bad ranged hero. What can Greymane do that Phoenix can't? The answer is very little. And Greymane can get into a fight and execute people very well, but so does Purification Salvo and slows, which they already have. Deckard and Urel both provide slows. I would have said Phoenix 100% any day of the week over the Greymane with that combo right there. So we're going to see Alexstrasza and the Blaze banned out. Not sure why you would ban the Blaze when you've already gotten a Urel. It really serves no value at that point. The Johanna is a very interesting choice because they have a triple melee. Are they sending Johanna to the solo lane then, or Diablo to the solo lane? It's a very weird thing to have Diablo. Well, they could have Diablo in the solo lane as well. I honestly don't know what they're going to do here. Having a triple front line once again with a Nazebo, but I feel like the Nazebo is going to be effectively negated. Now, the other problem I see with Inbed by 10's draft right now is that they've essentially have no race in comparison to Accel eSports. The Greymane alone is going to pretty much race for them. And I think they're going to have to defend the Lily and Johanna. Well, I don't think Lily is actually going to get the value they want, because Lily has to hold her blind until Greymane gets into the thick of things. If Lily holds her blind before they actually dive into her, then it could work, because then Thickman can get blinded, Worgen form loses value, and Rock Pasta will drop the blind as well. Or sorry, Johanna will drop the blind as well. And then you get, a lot of control of Greymane. Now, to be fair, there is also Diablo. If they can stack the blinds and the stuns and the overpowers, all of that really well, and the root, they can take out Greymane pretty trivially. But can they execute it is the real question. And we're going to find that out right now, if they can execute to keep the Worgen from running a rabid all over in bed by 10. So we got G Money on that Urel. On the other members, we got EO once again on that Deckard playing a nice one. We got Scorps on the Muradin. We got Hysteria once again on the Kelthos. And we got Thick Mane on the Gray Mane. And that'll be Accel eSports. On the other side, we got Roggle once again on that Thrall, who topped that damage meter. Or damage meter, the stats on damage. Mr. Pilkington on the Diablo. Rock Pasta on the Johanna. And finally, M4 on the Lily. But in the top lane, they're actually putting Polystyrene on the Nazebo in the solo lane. This is a very interesting choice. So they will now have very little ranged overall. They do have the Crash Lightning, but it's not quite enough. Johanna, well, she'll clear this up pretty easily, so it's definitely an interesting laning setup. Taking a look, G-Money has really nothing to fear, because as long as he dodges, then he takes no damage. Unlike Nazebo, who, well, you can't dodge abilities that are essentially skillless, if you will. So he will have to back up and make sure that he is not in the thick of things from Urel's hammer. Bot lane is surprisingly even still because of how tanky their team is in the bot lane. They basically just don't care. They take some damage and they walk away. You're not killing the Diablo, you're not killing the Johanna. You might kill an out of place Thrall, but even still, there's enough peels to keep him safe and sound. In the top lane, things are going fine for both solo laners. No one really having the advantage, and this is working out for them. They basically have huge bodies in the bot lane and some Nazebo action in the top lane. What is awkward though, he does have Pandemic. Pandemic without being in the 4-man is going to be kind of brutal. We do have the Perfect Storm at 7 stacks, 0 stacks for Kelthos Mana Addict. That's really bad. Pandemic at 12 and 6 on the Crash Lightning. So nice timing on the camps by Accel eSports. Although I would actually say this is early. Sorry. So it's actually not good timing. It's too early. The Shamans have been picked up. They'll be cleared up before the actual objective starts up. And because of that, yeah, you can actually see in bed by 10, just sitting there waiting. And that's how you want to do it. You actually want to time it with your wave to be the most optimal. Rock Pasta should just pick this up right now because he should just rotate. They're really holding this out very, very long. So Shaman Camp's still up here. Not sure why it wasn't actually focused on down by the members of Embed by 10, but what can you do? Also, by the way, poll is in favor of Accel eSports. 3 votes for him, 0 for Embed by 10. So race has started. Embed by 10 nowhere to be seen in this action. You can see that they've barely even dented this Immortal. In fact, I don't know if I even saw a single point of HP drop. So Accel eSports doing a much better macro job here on actually getting to the objective. Now they have to full out defend this, and they have to basically wipe them or do significant or get some significant kills. Nice stun. Greymane though will go in Worgen form and just queue on through and call it a day. So stay a while is listen, not yet up since we're not 10, but a good Scroll of Identity can effectively do that as well. Nice leap over by G Money, and they have defended it for now. And they also do have the top pressure. Unfortunately for them, the Shaman is about to go down, and with that, their hopes and dreams of getting some free towers. Ironskin has been popped. A nice gravity lapse onto Mr. Pilkington, and he is going to be blown up. No, a nice condemn will keep him up and going, and they are still fighting to actually get this Immortal. Rock Pasta going on deep with a big condemn. Will make it out from the Nazeebo wall that his own team placed. But Urel getting a long stunned. A thick, oh no, Hysteria getting picked off from that stun from the Immortal. That's exactly how you get yourself a nice defense. So overall, very nicely done on the side of Embed by 10. They are able to go pop in, pop out, use their big cooldowns on Rock Pasta to ensure that they can keep him up and going and keep the pressure going. And now you'll see them actually start racing. Unfortunately, Nazeebo has no mana, which means that he can't really race, and which means that they're going to lose this 100%. So really the problem here was that Embed by 10 rotated way too slow, and if they had actually gotten there in time, they may have been able to do what they did, which is win the defense, go and start working on their Immortal, come back and defend, rinse and repeat. Now, we are currently at 13 stacks and 25 stacks. Once those are stacked, things are going to look pretty different though for Embed by 10. At the same time, Perfect Storm keeps getting more and more powerful, and he picked up Sledgehammer, which means Scorps is actually going to be able to help them race really well now. Other thing to note, we have Insatiable and Wolfheart. I don't like the Insatiable, I don't like the Insatiable because there's better choices like the Disengage and Eyes in the Dark. There's even the Thick Skin, which could prove valuable against a Thrall. But usually the Eyes in the Dark is the best choice, as you can maneuver around much better. The Insatiable generally doesn't get you enough value for it to be a good pickup because you often aren't running out of mana on Greymane. So they lose the fort, but they're actually going to be forcing this fight at this time. Nice Scroll of Identity, got Scorps on the backline, but technically the backline is Rock Pasta coming on forward. Condemned on out, and with 2 tanks, this is very hard to be aggressive on. However, they're looking for it. There goes Thickmane. They're on to Pilkington. There's the Gravity Labs, the bomb, and say goodbye. Although Diablo might be used to the Flames of Hell, he's not quite used to Kael'thas's Flame Strikes. So this is clearly something Embed by 10 has yet to learn from, which is when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. They don't know if their team can actually win fights or if they will lose fights, because we've seen them now 3 times in 2 games try to go for a Merc camp, fail to get the Merc camp, and lose lives for the Merc camp. So they really shouldn't have Rock Pasta here. They should have him down, bot clearing this up. Diablo has no wave clear, and you can see they're taking tower damage in part because of that. So Johanna isn't really going to help them race over here either, and Immortal is coming up in 5 seconds. So once again, Ace is already rotated to where they need to be. On the other hand, a little bit slow, but quick enough this time around. This is much better than last time. The bomb spreading onto 2. Not going to matter too much. Unstoppable is popped by Rock Pasta. Nice charge on back. Kael'thas is getting his booty slammed, and the butt cheeks have been clenched by Hysteria as he's now been sent into a coffin. Nice defense, and Scorps should be able to leap on out, and he will be fine. The Condemn coming on out from Rock Pasta, not going to net on much of anything, and defense successful once again. So they get themselves a little bit of time to clear things up and start working on it. But Diablo all alone, M4 coming on in with Rock Pasta in tow. Diablo will be fine, but the bot lane is getting shoved in by the Shaman camp. A lot of value, and Nazeebo will have to go and deal with that. Tower not quite down, and they've only managed to get this roughly to 55%, so they might be able to get themselves to halftime. With the Greymane on the Immortal, this is going to potentially still be in favor of Accel eSports. As you can see, yeah, they win that trade. And even though they lost the initial engagement, they come on back, swinging and winning. So stacks keep on piling up for Muradin. And now we'll see if they'll be able to successfully defend once again. Rogel has the bomb, doesn't want to spread it, does avoid that with two members of Accel coming on into Rogel. Tens are available. Stay a while and listen. Thickmane trying to get the Diablo. We got the Jugs coming on out, trying to heal him up. A lot of spread damage across the place. And a nice root. Hysteria going to be able to avoid the stun. Rock Pasta in the thick of things as well. Pilkington getting the stun onto Greymane. And he has been burned to a crisp. The Ardent Defender getting a ton of value underneath the Lightning Brent. Rock Pasta has no mana though. Still aggressing on in. A nice double gravity lapse. And they still call it a day with a win. Now, oh, we have the Ravenous Spirit coming on out. G-Money going to be going down. And they are not going to get any value out of this Immortal now. Very, very nicely done. So the defense has been working out. The problem is they have no way to win the races except if they kill enough people. And, well, these fights are going on hell of a long time. So they're going to have to really, really get themselves some more momentum on the side of Embed by 10. Otherwise, they're going to slowly have their structures taken down by Immortals. It doesn't matter if it's no one there. It's still got half of that fort. Rock Pasta coming on in. Two members of Accel are the only members here. And no charge from Diablo to get onto Thickmane. So Thickmane walking away. Scorps walking away. Johanna in no man's land. Look at this rotation. Stay a while and listen, because Accel eSports is looking to rock you like a hurricane. But Rock Pasta still walks away. That was one strange rotation that hopefully was not intended. But Accel coming on in for the collapse. M4 is here. We got EO here as well, along with Scorps, and they are not getting out of this. Murden getting the stun onto M4, and they're looking for a nice gravity lapse. The Sunder comes out, and Rogel will have to burn that big cooldown. So, taking a look, we have 23-23. We have Pandemic completed. We almost the Crash Lightning completed as well. On this map, Crash Lightning is much more effective than in the case of the previous match. And as we saw, Thrall had the most damage in the game. So if they keep it up, Thrall will be reaching new records. The aggressiveness from Accel, I really, really like this. Still while listen, catching out one, but EO getting booty banged into the zombie wall, and they are getting turned into shish kebabs. Accel eSports. The stun from Murden, the Blessed Shield has come on now to lock Scorps down. He has nowhere to go except back to his base, a free one-way ticket, coffin paid for by Mr. Pilkington. And they are now in the opportunity to actually get themselves a lead here in Embed by 10. Now, Thickmane, hella low. Hysteria, hella low. They will get up their Shaman camp in the meantime, and this will be... Oh, Pilkington actually getting on here. G-Money has no one in tow, but will be able to knock Diablo away and pick up the Shaman camp. Very nice attempt there from Embed by 10, but 50% halftime. We have Heroics coming up once again for Embed by 10. So now they just race this out. And, well, oh, Diablo though, way too far forward. Get Cursed Bullet and blown up to the next world. And with no one there, they have actually taken their lead and tossed it out the window for Embed by 10. Looking like they do not want this game to end by their bedtime. Diablo back in action though, coming on in, saving Rogel. Rogel will be surviving, so tapping it on back up, and the Jugs are out, and Scorps will just jump over this wall. And at this point though, this Immortal is still in favor of Embed by 10. So this is a 4v5, not the fight they want, and a ton of damage being dished out onto Rock Pasta. Iron Skin coming out just in time. Rogel poking with that Crash Lightning. The stun. Rock Pasta having nowhere to go. Does not have Iron Skin available. Will not be able to make it through those two bodies of G-Money and Scorps. Another Cursed Bullet on point, and that is both members of the front line executed. EO trying to save this Immortal from going on down. And Polystyrene trying his best to get it. Only 289. And he's going, but he's going straight to his own death. Accel eSports getting insane value out of the Shaman camp. Thrall going down as well now, but they do pick up the Immortal. And M4 goes down. This is brutal. They're about to lose a keep pretty much without an Immortal here. Johanna trying to prevent that from happening, should be able to save the day. And with multiple members down from Embed by 10, they are going to get nothing out of this Immortal phase. So all they needed to do was play that slower. Go back, tap, Earth, call it a day. Because really Embed by 10's entire thing is they just need to get the Immortal. They need to get it and prevent Accel eSports from continuing their lead. Oh no, this is terrible. They're trying to fight pre-16, but they have only 3 members here. The Sunder comes out, tearing them apart, and the Lightning Breath on 4, getting so much value. The Ravenous Spirit on top of this, the Condemn from Rock Pasta, keeping them stuck in place with a Punish, and they trade out 1 for 1. Rock Pasta going too far, but holds them in place, trading up a little bit here. Oh no, Polystyrene does have the Ice Block available, will stop the leap from G Money, and they will have 16s in tow for the next Immortal phase. So, very nice combo coming out. They only secure 1 kill, unfortunately. If they had the creep wave pushed up, they could have gotten that fort along with potentially kills. Unfortunately, they did not, and at this point, well, it is a 5v5 once again with them losing that keep finally. Now, they really should try and just backdoor this. Murden can go and backdoor it. He is super survivable. Just hit it with a Sledgehammer Stormbolt, and they get themselves a keep. And that keep will create an insane amount of pressure because all of a sudden catapults will start building up. Instead, they'll be getting the bot Bruiser camp, which will hopefully for Accel eSports take down that keep. Alright, so Immortals have started. Both have taken their Mercs at roughly the same time, and defense has started once again. Nice charge coming on now. EO has nowhere to go. There's the Lightning Breath. Old man is nothing but skin and bones. Not a tasty morsel left on him after that. And the Ravenous Spirit will not get Thick Mane. Thick Mane just making it out alive once again. Oh no! The lightning bounced. RNGesus, baby. And remember, lightning now prioritizes heroes, and they didn't respect it. We have taken a look at some of the numbers. They're all already at 64K. And now we got the halftime show starting. So as long as Diablo is not too far out, he's okay. But there is no cursed bullet available. The Rue coming on out. Scorps will just leap on out. The Gravity Lapse in tow will keep him fine and dandy. So this will be the first Immortal very likely. They do have Thick Mane ready to go. Or no, only the rest of the crew is here. Sledgehammer will be able to do some work, but they're actually trying to defend this. The stay a while and listen will get interrupted, and onto the booty of the old man. Diablo tries to go, but it will not be enough. The Lightning Breath coming on out. The Ardent Defender getting some value once again from Lightning Breath. Gravity Lapse onto 2. The stay a while and listen. 2 and on through. Roggle's health pool, and Thrall is down for the count. Thick Mane trying to get Nazebo now. With this stun, I think they can get this. A beautiful Gravity Lapse once again from Hysteria. Hysteria setting them up to secure more kills. And this will be the first Immortal, however. In the meantime, they completely ignore it. And this Immortal will be completely wasted once again. Both teams unable to do anything with their immortals. There's no way they're getting the keep out of this with Stormbolt, with Perfect Storm and Sledgehammer, with a Kalthos, with a Greymane. There's no way they are getting a keep. And in the meantime, you can see this keep is nearly dead. All they need to do, walk around, snipe it, and call it a day.
The demon's attack has failed, yet we have not seen the end of him.
So one thing I have to say is that they definitely show a lot more coordination on Accel eSports when it comes to team fights. They generally execute combos better. They know when to retreat and when to press their advantage. Scorp's going on in, but he didn't actually go around the safe way, and that will be it because he is sitting at 48 stacks of Perfect Storm. You do the math there. That's a lot of extra damage. We're talking about almost 250 to 240 extra damage on his Stormbolt. On top of that, you multiply that by 350%, and damn, he's smacking structures like he is a demolition crew. So at this point, all they need to do, Accel eSports, play this slow. Catapults will start building up, as we can see. It'll keep them stuck in the bot lane. And in the immortal phase, well, the immortal phase is started. If they don't clear that catapult, it'll get over to the core. There is a second catapult coming on up, which will get roughly there as well when the immortals finish spawning, which means that they're going to have to send someone down there because their wave is pushed all the way back. And you can see Nazeebo clearing it up. And like I said, Immortal's going to spawn, Catapult's going to be in there. And they now have a Shaman camp in tow, which is going to push it all the way to the core. At this point, this is a full-on race. And remember, Accel eSports excels at the race. And with the bot lane as it is, they get it to halftime, can walk on back and just wait for them to deal with it. Hysteria's stuck in a rock and a hard place as the Immortal Sun was coming on up, and Roggle taking advantage of that, coming in with a big old Sunder, helping to secure a very quick kill, but they are not able to convert into anything else, and the old man getting interrupted almost immediately, but Diablo will be going on down here, and it's a 1-for-1 with Diablo having the souls to come on back up. Rock Pass very, very low, as is Thick Mane, but it's not going to matter because Accel eSports walking away with the 2-for-1, but Diablo will be coming on back. EO has been caught in there, and Poly steering coming on in, trying to get the Nazeebo flank. M4 going to be going down here next. Roggle, he will be going down, stuck in place, and this is the end for In Bed by 10. They have 3 members down. They are going to march on to the core, and they already have catapults that are doing work. Accel eSports actually making a great call here. A lot of teams would go and just say, well, let's finish the Immortal, let's be safe. But there's no need to do that. As you can see, Accel eSports plowing on through this core and calling it a day to send In Bed by 10 home early so that they can get nice and comfy, pull up the covers, and call it an evening. So taking a look once again, Deckard Cain, 101,000 healing. Damage numbers. Thick Mane doing an insane amount of work, in part thanks to that cursed bullet. Nazeebo, 68k, and like I said, Nazeebo really didn't come into play until much later in the game when he picked up what I assume is viral infection. Now, taking a look at some of the other damage, Hysteria, Scorps, Urel, just so much damage. And the tanking numbers, Diablo on top there, Johanna trying her best. It's Murden's beard's too big compared to Johanna's and is going to take the tanking numbers there. So, Accel eSports taking the win. Let's see if